Welcome back to Utah Jazz News.
Following a highly successful 2024 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz have made it clear that their future lies with the youth. The team is now focused on building around their young, promising talents as they embrace a long-term vision centered on development and potential. Among the Jazz's most valuable trade assets are an all-star from the 2022-23 season, a sixth Man of the Year award winner, and a 22-year-old center who is already considered one of the league's premier rim protectors. The 2023-24 season ended with the Jazz posting a 31-51 record, signaling the need for a fresh approach. Rather than sticking with the core players who defined last season, the front office decided it was time for a major shift in strategy. The goal? To rebuild with a roster full of youthful talent, positioning the Jazz for future success rather than immediate results. This bold move has kept the Utah Jazz in the headlines throughout the summer of 2024 as they have actively explored trade options to part ways with some of their star players. Despite the impressive talent on their roster, the team's lack of progress last season prompted the front office to consider a complete overhaul favoring youth over veteran experience. 2023-24 Utah Jazz team stats: points per game, 115.7, net rating, minus 4.9. Opponent points per game, 120.5, turnovers per game, 15.7. Over the past decade, the Jazz have built their team around homegrown talent, drafting players who would go on to achieve all-star status and earn prestigious awards. Players like Gordon Hayward, Rudy Gobert, and Donovan Mitchell have all flourished in Utah before ultimately leaving the franchise. Hayward departed for the Boston Celtics in free agency. After his only All-Star season in 2017, Gobert was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2022 after winning the Defensive Player of the Year award 4 times, and Mitchell was sent to the Cleveland Cavaliers the same year after earning 3 All-Star selections. Now, as the Jazz look to once again hit the reset button, they are preparing to part ways with their latest batch of star players, just as they did with Hayward, Gobert, and Mitchell. The focus is on acquiring young talent that can grow within the organization and eventually bring long-term success. Stay tuned for Part 2, where we'll explore the key players most likely to be traded as the Jazz prepare for the 2024-25 season. As the Utah Jazz continue their youth-focused rebuild, one veteran player who could be on the move is Jordan Clarkson. The talented shooting guard has built a reputation as one of the NBA's premier scoring options off the bench over the last 8 seasons, dating back to his time with the Los Angeles Lakers when he embraced the sixth-man role in 2016-17. Since then, Clarkson's electric scoring ability and streaky shooting touch have made him a valuable asset, with many teams expressing interest in acquiring him through trade. Now 31 and entering the final stages of his current contract with the Jazz, Clarkson may be ready for a change of scenery. General managers around the league could see this as an ideal time to pursue the veteran scorer, especially for teams looking to add firepower to their bench. In the 2023-24 season, Clarkson started in just 19 of his 55 games, but still managed to average 17.1 points per game with a 52.1% true shooting percentage. While this marks a slight decline in efficiency from his award-winning Sixth Man of the Year campaign in 2020-21, when he averaged 18.4 points on 54.9% true shooting, Clarkson's production could very well spike again in a system with more scoring options around him. Jordan Clarkson stats: 2023-24, points per game, 17.1, assists per game, 5.0, effective field goal percentage, 46.9%. Usage rate, 26.1%. As one of the league's best sixth men, Clarkson could be the Jazz's most attractive trade asset. His expiring contract, paired with his ability to provide instant offense off the bench, makes him a perfect fit for contending teams looking to bolster their rotation. Clarkson fits the mold of a classic super sixth man, much like Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, and Eric Gordon, who have thrived in similar roles in the past. Though his three-point shooting dropped to a dismal 29.4% during the 2023-24 season, Clarkson's scoring ability in the mid-range and his improved playmaking make him a valuable commodity. A team willing to take a gamble on Clarkson could benefit from his experience and knack for creating offensive opportunities, especially in high-pressure situations. Stay tuned for Part 3, where we'll discuss another potential trade candidate as the Utah Jazz reshape their roster ahead of the 2024-25 season. Lauri Markkanen's time with the Utah Jazz may have been brief, but it has been nothing short of transformative for his career. After being traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the blockbuster deal that sent Donovan Mitchell to the Eastern Conference, Markkanen has completely reinvented himself in Utah. In Cleveland, he averaged 14.8 points per game during the 2021-22 season, but in his first year with the Jazz, Markkanen skyrocketed to 25.6 points and 8.6 rebounds per game, a breakout performance that earned him his first All-Star appearance and the 2023 Most Improved Player award. His second season in Utah was just as impressive, with Markkanen averaging 23.2 points on an outstanding 63.1% true shooting. His elite efficiency and continued role as the team's #1 scoring option have made him one of the most coveted players in the NBA. Lauri Markkanen's Jazz career stats: 2 seasons, points per game 24.4, rebounds per game 8.4, true shooting percentage 63.6%, three-point percentage 39.5% three-pointers, made per game 3.1. Markkanen's unique skill set as a 7-footer with the ability to shoot nearly 40% from beyond the arc and put the ball on the floor has caught the eye of teams around the league. His combination of athleticism and shooting touch has made him the Jazz's first All-Star since the departures of Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. However, despite his importance to the team, Jazz executives led by Danny Ainge are committed to stockpiling assets and building for the future, which means Markkanen could be a prime trade candidate. The Golden State Warriors have shown the most interest in acquiring Markkanen. The two teams have been in active trade discussions, with the Jazz reportedly seeking a package that includes Moses Moody and several first-round draft picks. There's also speculation that young talents like Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski could be part of a potential deal, though Warriors owner Joe Lacob has expressed reluctance to include Podziemski. While nothing has been finalized and no player has been officially ruled out, Markkanen remains Utah's best trade asset this offseason. His ability to fetch a massive haul of young players and draft capital makes him a key figure in the Jazz's rebuild, even if he isn't the most likely player to be traded before the start of the 2024-25 season. Stay tuned for Part 4, where we'll dive into the final key player that could be on the move as Utah shapes its roster for the future. Walker Kessler, Utah's rising defensive star, has found his name swirling in trade rumors throughout the 2023-24 season and beyond. Entering his third year in the NBA, Kessler's impressive defensive capabilities and strong physical presence make it somewhat surprising that the Jazz might part ways with him. Standing 7 feet tall and weighing 245 pounds, Kessler has been a defensive anchor for Utah, finishing third in the Rookie of the Year voting and proving to be an intimidating force in the paint. With a remarkable 7'6" wingspan, Kessler has been a blocking machine, averaging 2.4 blocks per game over his first 2 seasons. His impact goes beyond just shot blocking, as he's also been an efficient scorer and rebounder. Kessler has averaged 8.7 points per game on an incredible 69% shooting from the field, while pulling down 8 rebounds each night. Walker Kessler's 2023-24 stats: points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, 7.5 blocks per game, 2.4 true shooting percentage, 66.3%. Defensive rating per 100 possessions, 114. Despite these strong numbers, the Jazz have repeatedly placed Kessler on the trade block, both during the 2023-24 season and throughout the offseason. It seems the organization is unwilling to commit to giving the talented young center a big payday when his rookie contract expires in 2026-27, which would make him a restricted free agent. To avoid this situation, Utah's front office has opted to explore trade options now, hoping to secure valuable draft capital in return. The New York Knicks have been one of the most frequently mentioned suitors for Kessler, according to reports. However, after the Knicks acquired Mikal Bridges in a recent trade, the possibility of landing Kessler became more complex. Ian Begley of SNY reported that the Knicks offered 2 first-round picks for Kessler, but the Jazz rejected the proposal, suggesting that Utah is holding out for a higher asking price. Although no deal has been finalized, Utah remains determined to move Kessler, with his availability widely known since the start of the summer. What do you think about the possibility of the Jazz trading Walker Kessler? Is it the right move for the future, Or should the Jazz hold on to their rising star? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest news from Utah Jazz News.